What's today? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It's nice and sunny.
It's freezing though.
It's cold.
Yes.
That's why I got my coffee.
So, today's real talk is on the topic of life insurance. Yes?
Ooh, sure.
Yes. Life insurance can be sexy, but it's not in most cases. Why is that? Why do you think people don't get life insurance?
Well, it's got a bad rap because, they hire somebody from AutoZone and he comes in, doesn't know a damn thing. They cross in the world, and now his living is dependent on forcing life insurance on you.
What? Okay, tell me, what do you mean by that?
Oh, there's just people get brought in that don't know what they're doing. They're not educated.
Well, don't you have to get licensed with the state?
You do have to get licensed. The test is fairly simple to pass, and then you go work for a company like I did, who taught me unethical things to do, or pushed unethical things to do. And you don't realize until you get out from under that company how bad it really is. So now as an independent broker, we know the laws, and we have more than dozens of products to offer somebody, so it's not a one product for all. And well, if it doesn't fit your needs, oh well, this is the price and here you go.
Okay, so going from working for a company who is pushing unethical practices, mainly because it was a one product fits all concept, and you didn't know what you didn't know. While it may have been your responsibility to know, at the end of the day, when you're brand new into an industry or a position, you lean on your mentors to guide you where you should be going.
Yeah.
So now you obviously left, went independent. Who'd you go? How does that work exactly? Like, what do you mean by going independent? What does that mean?
Well, I have an IMO above me, and they have various carriers, and I'm contracted with all those carriers. And the traffic is wild this morning.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have somewhere to be?
So you represent Y-Way Insurance Solutions.
Yes.
Which is a brokerage agency.
Yep, that's our agency.
Our agency.
Yep.
So that means that we have the ability to help people and ensure that we're doing the right thing. We don't have someone over us telling us what to do, essentially.
Yes.
And we're contracted with multiple carriers, which allows us to do what? Like, what's the benefit? Why would you not go to like a major brand that offers all products in one? Why have multiple carriers that you may have multiple policies with?
Because the one carrier may have multiple products, but it's still only their product.
So you might get a good rate on one of those products, but then the other products you're overpaying on, essentially.
Correct. And there may just be something that this person needs that isn't available. Like we have
guaranteed issue,
which is very expensive. And
guaranteed issue is someone who has severe medical issues that most carriers cannot cover. A guaranteed issue product would cover them. It'd be expensive, but it's near and dear to me because I have a lot of family that have severe health issues that have been denied before, and a guaranteed issue product through certain carriers will help them get the coverage they need. So, but it's not a cookie cutter fits all thing, and I think that's the biggest issue with those companies that have multiple products under the one company umbrella, because it's a cookie cutter product in that case.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the note of product, what does that look like? So you go with your insurance carrier or your insurance agent, and you hope that they are explaining things properly. The realization is that the insurance world has a bad rap. So how do you protect yourself, making sure you know what you're covered for and how everything's taken care of?
Well, that's a hard question to answer because I would say shop around, but you're just gonna. It's probably 1 in 50 is a good agent who's there to take care of you.
So would you say obviously reading your policy is
yes,
important?
If you can understand it.
Yeah.
It's like a lawyer lingo jingo that's hard to understand. I mean, even I read it and it's like, what are they talking about? You know.
What would you say is the biggest surprise with insurance policies?
They tell you that, for these are just nominal numbers, they're not factual numbers, but they're pretty dang close. You know, $17, you can get $1 million coverage.
Well, that doesn't sound bad. What's wrong with that?
Because that's not usually the case. There's all kinds of stipulations behind how you die versus what you qualify for when you die.
So essentially, you get a coverage thinking that you're covered, regardless of how you die, and a lot of those cookie cutter policies are more for accidental deaths only, but
Correct.
you're not necessarily explained that in the process. All right, so we come off of people having something that they think they're covered for, but they really don't. Ultimately, what does our role come down to? Would you say relationship building and trust?
Yeah, so the difference between what we do versus what we started out doing is it's more relationship building and trust. And the bottom line is if you're happy and you like what you got, you're going to tell your friends about us, or about that good fiduciary, or that good life agent, or that good retirement planning person. Working for a captive company, sometimes there's bonuses given based off of products being pushed, which isn't always in the best interest of the client. So therefore, the agent gets encouraged to push it. We don't have those kinds of processes. We're going to make a living based off of you being happy and you telling your friends and family. And if you don't,
We don't just meet with you once and then you're good and set it and forget it.
There's yearly follow-ups.
And within the year, we talk about qualifying events. So whether you came to us for life insurance or you came to us for retirement planning, we stress that if you have what we call a qualifying event, a change of job, a new addition to your family, any kind of impact that could affect you being able to retire, or your finances, or your way of life. We initially set you up with an idea and a plan of what kind of lifestyle you want to have down the road. And if that changes, which is very common, then that prompts you to meet with us and us to reevaluate your portfolio. There's no locked in cookie cutter process with us. Would you agree?
100%, yeah.
All right, so to wrap it up for today, the key concepts here to remember would be what, in your opinion? Trust your agent.
If the guy doesn't have your best interest, which you should be able to tell early on, then just hang up.
Move on.
Move on to the next person. It might take you a few, but it's not a one-hit wonder. If he doesn't care about you and what's going on in the background, then he's not going to care about you as soon as you hang up the phone.
And it shouldn't be a rushed process, right?
No, yeah, it's definitely not a rushed process.
It's like never a one-call close is what they call it in the industry. If you're in a one-call close, you're probably not in the best interest.
And we always encourage our people to come hang out with us. We're always out and about. We are big in the off-road community. So just to get out there with the people, and because it's kind of fun when you get to know people and hang out and you're out doing whatever. And for us, it's the off-roading aspect.
Yep. But we also do Zoom hangouts too. We can do coffee by Zoom. We don't just service Arizona. We have 9 different states that we're connected with and servicing, and we're continuously adding more, because the reality is there's just not enough good people out there, and so the more people we can help, the better.
Yep.
But yeah, we do a lot of virtual. Then we're also looking at in the community and the dunes and off-roading and things like that as well. So key thing is trust your agent. Don't just settle. Don't just fall into something because you think it sounds good or it's cheap. If you find a policy that's cheap, then you definitely want to look into the fine print.
Yeah.
Classic saying, you get what you pay for, right?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is to know your options, I think, is the other big takeaway from today's meeting. There's not a one cookie cutter fits all product out there. I mean, there's products that are designed for life insurance, but they also have options to build retirement wealth, where you can have income in retirement from your life insurance policy. Not a lot of people know about that option because there's not a lot of captive companies that offer those options.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes with retirement. There's not a one cookie cutter fits all. There's one overall. It's usually a combination of multiple things. So trust your agent and learn about your products, essentially, right?
That's 100%.